which focuses on enhancing trust, accessibility, and statistical literacy. Although I'm not in charge of communication and not in charge of statistical literacy strategy in Elstat, but since I'm intervening a lot, I will try to explain myself and our goals. Our goal is to connect Elstat's tradition and credibility with the new demands. So, our priorities are clear: to build and maintain public trust, to ensure user-oriented dissemination, to promote statistical literacy, and to strengthen Elstat's visibility. Allow me to present to you just a sneak peek if we're doing well. This is a trust survey. It's an external trust survey of 2024. It was held by an independent poll agency, and they were asking about how Greeks are trusting institutions. So this is held every 2 years or 3 years, and as you can see, we are on the third place after the army and the police. And it's crucial to us because we didn't ask the firm to include us in this poll, and of course we didn't try to exclude our firm from this poll. So, because if you see that the time series, many institutions are trying to be excluded, and some of them manage to. But it's very good, I believe, that we are ahead of media, trade unions, political parties, even the parliament, even the government as an institution, the church, the justice system. Although, of course, we cannot compete the army and somehow the police. That's good. And that's good in our opinion, because it's good to see that people can trust us. They trust us as an institution, and that wasn't the case 10 years ago. That's what I'm trying. That's why I'm.
It's funny, trade unions.
The trade unions are below. I have to admit it. Okay. So let me explain to you about our multi-layered strategy. Our strategy is multi-layered, of course. We emphasize storytelling with data, transforming figures into narratives that people can relate to. At the same time, we focus on disaggregating data, which is essential for identifying differences and provide policymakers with the meaningful insights. So our strategy, I keep calling it the Data strategy. We have also the hashtag. With this strategy, we structure our outreach across different audiences: social media, press releases, seminars, publicity actions are adapted depending on whether we address the general public, politicians, journalists, enterprises, academia, or schools. The aim is to make data relevant to each group and in their own context. The general public, of course, we use social media releases and publicity actions. The seminars are not for public, for general public or corporation, of course, not that easy. We try to engage journalists, politicians, the heavy users. When I'm talking about heavy users, we mean the big banks that they make forecasts, and it's crucial to them and also crucial to us to explain to them how the data are produced and how they can use this data for their forecasts. And somehow, many times, we have to teach them what official statistics are and how they could use these data. Of course, with academia, we can have cooperation also with the public sector. We'll see that. The dimension channels that we are using, of course, are diverse. We're currently upgrading our website to a more user-friendly portal with advanced visualization and interactive tools, because the current platform has limitations. So our aim is for a more user-friendly navigation, and of course, I insist on the interactive tools that we need. On our social media, we tailor our message. Our flagship is LinkedIn, which is for professional audiences, X, former Twitter, for fast updates, Instagram and TikTok. We also have TikTok for visual storytelling, targeting younger generations, YouTube for readers and education materials, and soon the podcast that we're planning to have. Importantly, all infographics, publications, and videos are produced in-house by a staff team, ensuring compliance with the principles of official statistics, impartiality, objectivity, clarity. And of course, beyond digital tools, we use a wide range of publications, communication activities such as press releases, campaigns, thematic releases. We take part, every year we go to the Thessaloniki International Fair, we have a presence there. We take advantage of our president actually, because we keep pushing him into all forms of media and to pass the message. As I said before, everything comes in-house, even the census publications, the census commercials came in-house, and we tried to have the money, not only to economize. We didn't spend so much money actually because we used our president to do the hard job. So, one of our main objectives is to make data easier to understand. Infographics in our company, not only thematic reports, but also major statistical releases, such as labor forces, consumer price index, or demographics. We also publish storytelling editions, for example, Children in Greece, on the population of age 65 plus, for publications regarding SDGs. These connect statistics with real social and political challenges we want to believe. And of course, we use videos. Videos are another tool. Short videos on topics like employment, tourism, on household expenditure, and soon interactive dashboards will give users dynamic access to time series and indicators. That's with the new website. Of course, statistical literacy initiatives. We are also investing in statistical literacy for schools. We produce books, games, and videos in both Greek and English. We organize activities like census at school, statistics competitions, and webinars for secondary students. At the university and professional level, we cooperate with Greek University, with also the National Group of Public Administration, which trains the next generation of senior civil servants. In terms of outreach, we join international campaigns and design thematic publications that raise statistical awareness in society. Engagement with user is crucial. Over here, we organize a user conference where policymakers, researchers, or journalists share their feedback and needs. We also work closely with media, providing background material to ensure statistics are correctly interpreted and reported. And internationally, we actively participate in Eurostat and UNESCO groups, exchanging best practices and one dimension on communication, dissemination of communication. Sorry. Of course, the challenges. I'm going to stick there. The first challenge is to reach younger audiences. We need more engaging formats, short videos, interacting tools, social media presence. I saw before your app, it's an excellent idea if you want to engage younger generations and the younger audiences. Unfortunately, most of the time when we are trying to reach younger audience, we face them as with the eyes of the elderly people. So what youngsters do, they are all the time in their mobile phone. Okay, let's try to make a video, but with the ideas of 40 plus mind, so which is not that fruitful. must also strike a balance between providing rich data sets and protecting confidentiality and the statistical confidentiality. Finally, we face resource limitations, as you can imagine, as we said, we're doing everything internally, and if we manage to use, for example, the next portal will free us of around 10 to 15 people that are working on the digital publications of our staff. We have 4 digital publications per month, and we have to use 15 people just to do these digital publications. If we manage to have the digital dashboard, we won't have that need, and we have these resources for other activities. Regarding the future, looking ahead, our new statistics portal will offer better navigation, advanced visualization, and interactive dashboards. We want to expand our presence in schools and universities with new e-learning and e-learning materials. We aim for stronger media partnerships so reporting is accurate, especially in times of high public interest. International level, we have the UNESCO's expert meeting of dissemination of communication statistics the next month, 2 months from now. I tried to be quick. Thank you very, very much. I'm open for questions, of course, if you want.
But I'm not sure. I have some question. So regarding to the poll that was presented on the beginning, who was involved in the poll? So all the public institutions among those, or just those that were presented, the selected one?
What do you mean? What parties were asked?
Yes, because somebody. What the
was all to the general public.
Yes.
Yes, trusted institution.
Yes.
So we didn't have an intervene with it.
Okay.
They didn't ask us.
So and they listed
all these institutions. They provide the institutions.
Okay.
We didn't.
They provide.
They provided the institutions, and the public audience does reply.
Okay, thank you. And the second question regarding to the combating with misleading information. So, do you have some practical experience with it? Do you have some example?
Big announcements. We try to educate people how the things are. It's like the announcement. When you have the release, and then you see that the outcome is misrepresented or so. Or mishandled. We have to intervene and say that no, that's not true. Try to do this and this and this, and we have to explain to the public
tak jenom hlásím, že všechny materiály ona i ty návrh tiskových konferencí, takže bychom to posunuli všechno o týden dál.
So those who are in opposition sometimes try to pick up the wrong news from all the information that you've released. In time to time, they try to exceed the level of the bad news, and time to time we want to moderate it somehow. So there are some possibilities on the Twitter, but you have to be very careful. So when you would like to express that the politician would make some statement.
Government regularly pick up the
statements
that are correct.
Yes.
From the government, yeah.
And the opposition always ask the numbers that are bad. That's normal, but we don't intervene in these cases.
And anyway, on the Twitter, because time to time we didn't intervene directly, but indirectly we wanted to express somewhere, somehow.
We don't want to judge the fight, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But you do not have such experience on Twitter, so look, we repost this new, and you can see that the electricity is the most
Twitter to just
answer in the Czech Republic. No, we do not answer, but time to time they ask us, the government, is it true that the electricity is the most expensive? And what to reply? You can reply yes, or you can reply yes, but because
It depends.
it depends. Like
Yes and no.
yes and no, as very expressed.
Yes and no answer is the best.
Yeah, yes, and definitely is the best.
Yeah.
When they're asking Grok, usually they're asking direct the artificial intelligence agent of X.
Yes.
Usually. But just to tell you like that, yesterday on my way to, I was listening to your nice meeting, yesterday's meeting together with Eva, with your first vice president coming, in the car. I had to deal with the exact same situation that we described last night. And it has to do with the labor force survey and with how you handle an opposition or kind of like a statement that uses our institution for somehow building or beautifying the situation in the labor market,
Making it big.
in a way that it can serve the government.
Okay.
So this was one of the small opposition, one of the not average opposition parties that tried to instrumentalize this situation, just to use it like that. So this is a case in which I'm borderline, and I was discussing this with Eva yesterday, whether I need to intervene or not. And I'm afraid that we need to intervene. I mean publicly with a statement, because this, in order to somehow allegedly substantiate type of arguments, they need to somehow decorate it with statements such that yes, we opt for discrediting the information about employment and unemployment that exists in the registries, which is the real unemployment, as the opposition calls it that. And instead of that, we opt to use the unemployment that is drawn from the survey, from the labor force survey. So this is something that you need to explain to them, just to tell them that the unemployment registry is a government service itself. So there is a very delicate, of course, equilibrium, a delicate way that you need to balance that, because you're not supposed to be there to claim that no, you have to know that we're an independent authority and we're in no way dependent on the government ourselves. So even the fact that I'm going to issue a statement or not, it's my call. I may call it or not. Monday morning, I made a statement and to explain what happened with the unemployment rate, and also the Minister of Labour didn't want a statement about that because they were afraid that it was my call, and it's always my call, and I don't ask anything. So this is something that I need to, however, balance whether going out is going to help to be to help one of the opposing parties. In this particular case, of course, it is the opposition's mistake, or the fact that they used fake allegations about our role and about whether we are controlled. They even say that we have to get an independent auditor to audit the data of both agencies. This is outrageous, in my opinion. This is not something that can go without being answered. But we rarely intervene in these cases, because you see, you have to balance this trade-off. So if there is someone who is serious about that, who is very serious in their allegations and accusations, so he has some real, so then over there you probably need to intervene and explain what is going on. And recently, by the way, and I was asked for my advice by one of our colleagues in some Western European country that had an issue with their labor force survey, and I was asked to provide my advice. I mean, I happen to be one of the most senior, old colleagues in the European statistical system, so they keep asking me. But that was a case of a professor in some good university, and I say in Western Europe, that made very detailed claims about why the collection in labor force survey in that country does not satisfy, does not fulfill the criteria. It's very vulnerable to some technicality regarding, again, the collection. So in our case, this is not the case. So there is a person who just comes out, but it happens to be, on the other hand, a member of the parliament. Okay, so I cannot leave this unanswered, even if this comes from a minor political party.
And it was employment figure, or what was it?
I'm both talking about employment figures and unemployment figures. Okay, so there is a person claiming that yes,
it's underestimated.
I mean, yes, it's underestimated, and we have a very decent response rate in the labor force survey, to be honest with you.
What is decent?
Decent is when you count blocks from which you choose.
No, I mean in a person.
Hold on. Now, first of all, you need to be representative when it comes to the blocks out of which you collected, which is the other persons. So over there, we're more than 90%. Mm-hmm. Okay. When it comes to persons, if you go to the rest of Greece, we're about like 50%. But if you come to Thessaloniki and Athens, we're rarely above 40%. Okay. And this is indeed an issue. Okay. Now, if you ask me if there are technical ways to deal with that, now let me finish what I was saying before. Yes, we don't have the ideal response rate that would safely allow you to defer. I mean, assuming that you do a very good work in your choice of sample. Okay, if it's well calibrated, but it should be 70%. I guess you don't have 70%. Okay. I bet you don't have, because nobody has. Okay, UK, they have 15%, just to give you a measure of what is going on. But let me just go back to that, which is very interesting. So this guy doesn't even care about it. He just says you're just bullshitting people because you're just running a poll.
Because he thinks
that the labor force survey is a poll. Yeah. Out of 1,000 people, for example, and we just go out there and we just run a poll. I mean, you know very well that you have to survey 200,000 people per year, okay? Or a number which is very close to that, depending on whether it's at this is a big sample. If you do well your work, you have response rate sufficient, or you have dealt with asymmetries that lower response details at each point in time, then you can do your work. But the thing is that those guys, they claim that, unemployment registry is the entire unemployment registry, because everybody who's unemployed gets there and gets registered. And while you have a poll, and this is grounds for dismissing in quality terms the labor force survey. I mean, this is a wrong argument. This is a false argument that has to be dealt with, because people do not understand that that's what statistics are about. It's not about just picking the number from the unemployment registry, which, by the way, changes every 1 year or every 6 months, depending on the policy that the government may choose to do. It's not comparable to the unemployment registry of the Czech Republic or of France or of Belgium or of Spain, because they have different criteria for helping people being registered in the unemployment registry. For example, if you give them an easier interface to be registered in the unemployment registry, and to see the number of unemployed persons there. I mean, it's very easy to see that. But the thing is that this is a classic case in which you will favor intervening even at the risk of amplifying this funny argument, okay? Because this funny argument comes from a member of the parliament, and they can use the channel of, they can keep on eroding your credibility by just having media outlets or even marginal media outlets reproducing their voice. So over there, you need to do that. But I think that, our communication officers, what they should have in mind always is this trait. So how influential is the person who makes the criticism versus how much you want to amplify their voice in case there is like a dangerous allegation. But yeah, in that particular case, I'm very about that. Okay, and this is why I'm just. But I think I don't have a choice not to intervene because it's like a false allegation. Plus, I mean, it claims that that Elstat has. I mean, it's ridiculous, of course, to claim that Elstat has a reason or an incentive to promote one part of a political argument with respect to the other, to privilege one person instead of the other. And it's even more ridiculous if you think that in the same way that unemployment falls right now in Greece, it has been falling for the last 10 years or so, with 3 different governments, and by the way, with the very same persons calculating unemployment 10 years ago, and the very same persons calculating unemployment now, and myself signing for it. Okay, so it's not, nothing has changed, it's that just people cannot, and this is something that has to be somehow explained. You know, for us it's a little bit difficult because our role does not allow to be in sync with government agencies. So we have arm's length relationships, and I cannot police what they're going to issue from the Ministry of Labor, and of course I cannot police what I'm going to be on my end. But usually what we do is that we isolate the statements that have to do with our institution, and we respond to those statements. I'm not saying that we have done everything well in the past. So, because in the past, in similar debates, public debates, we did the mistake to try to analyze what are the criteria under which persons are registered in the unemployment register. This is not our job. We should not have done it. No, it's okay. So this is a mistake. So it's a good thing to learn from our mistakes. Okay? It was a bad thing to do, and we issued a statement, and this is unfortunately right now used that you see that in claims like Elstat tries to discredit unemployment registers. Like, yeah, you see, it's that's how it goes. Whatever goes around, it comes around. So you see now, we need to work on that and try to argue that it was none of our business to judge what are the criteria under which you get registered in some unemployment register or something like that. But our business is to explain to you guys that the method that we use, for which Greek taxpayers and European taxpayers pay, it's a sound one and it's worth being pursued. Okay, sorry about my long intervention. It was very last time. I wanted to make a statement on your first question that you said. By the way, we also have snapshots, I have it in my cell phone somewhere, of the 2022 version of this and the 2021. And over there, we're consistently in the third situation. Government is like that, closed. The President of the Republic is also slow. And the funny thing is that in the COVID era, in the second position was not the police, it was the NHS. NHS was in the second position. So you see that there are some people who are circumstantially placed in the second. They just move, but we just stay there. Okay, that means there is some like intertemporal kind of like trust. And we didn't have any involvement in the design. If you ask me what are the details of this survey, I cannot tell you because I was not involved in the design. I have no clue why they have included us separately from the rest of the public sector and the public institutions. But still, for me, it was a very nice thing to see the fact that we are one of the most trusted institutions in Greece. And you know, this is not easy very well. You know very well, and my friend Yaroslav, is the first discussion we ever had ever. But you know that we had a major blow in the reputation of the institution 15 years ago. Okay, so it's not to discuss about now, but it's difficult to have this as a starting point and manage to resurrect yourself. Okay, talk about in Eastern terms and kind of like get a second life. Okay, so that's what I wanted to simply say.
Thank you for this comment. We will have to go to the conclusion, only because of the time. So, any other reactions, questions, comments? From Brad, maybe? Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for the presentation, for very nice discussion, feedback. I think it was again very good choice of topic, as well as yesterday's topic. So I think it was very good. And thanks, and we hope we will also in the future inspire each other, and it's very important, especially in this area.
And keep us posted, and please send us this in my office. This statistica and which is very good. Please.
It's also possible to download electronically, so it's possible to put into translator and
in Greek, I don't know. I can even do it now. I mean, it's very easy. I mean, you don't even have to translate it. But again, I think that the paper version has a value in itself. So it's a good thing that you send it to policymakers. It's not about insisting too much on this very traditional kind of thing. Because, it's paper. The tradition is nice because you get it, you build it, you think that it's a real thing. It's not that. I'm not such an old school guy. But no, it's not. It's about this new type of. This is a very novel type of like packaging like an old idea. Let me put it like that. This is how dissemination used to take place back in the years. But right now it has become more relevant because of the inflation of the fact that people are inundated by electronic information. They don't know what to do, and this is what they've been selling. What stands out. So. It's very good. Of course, it's tangible. That's a good thing. You see, national account. It's a material. It's a tangible thing. Okay, thank you very much. And also to the colleagues from Prague. Excellent work and excellent presentations. You keep up the good work and let us know what you do. Now you have some new followers on X. Okay.
thank you, bye. And bye-bye. The session. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. See you tomorrow.
Maybe Mr. Vice President will translate our magazine to Greek.
We will use artificial intelligence.
It's very expensive, so send it.
I know.
But we can,